you gonna introduce?
Hello, everyone in Facebook. How are we all this afternoon? All right, just bear with me for a second as I get you all ready. Here we go. Better turn it down. All right. Now, okay, so I have us all up and running. While you're watching this, if you want to leave us a comment or participate, that'd be amazing. My name's Nikita Maree, and tonight I am joined by the amazing Shailesh from New Zealand. So Shailesh, did you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you so much, Nikita, for inviting me. It's really a pleasure to come and meet you and talk to you and introduce myself. So getting to know the world of across the ditch. We are neighbors to start with. Australia and New Zealand is not new. So for me, we are neighbors. And the whole world is family anyway for us. So I'll introduce myself. What I can say about is I started about 7 months ago a company called my news channel online, which is NZ World News and New Zealand Global News Limited. And the idea was to start my vision and goals is to create positivity with the news channel, which has got the power. Today, news channel has got more power, and it was always have a power, and it is also a voice, not for just one segment, but it's a voice for people and voice for all humanity. And that's what I want to live up to, that expectations of how I can do more better positivity for all humans and across the whole world, not just one city, you know. So that's me. Apart from that, I do have my other businesses like my finance and accounting, which I try to help again, support and to people from all sorts of issues that they are into, whether taxation or whether it is business advisory, thriving businesses. And also, I also have started a charitable trust, which is giving services for the kids in the schools and communities. And that's a different platform where normally kids would like to explore many things and they don't have much platforms. So idea was to do that through that academy, through that charitable trust. And it's a legacy that I would like to clear. That's my vision. It's not for individual, my personal gain or some personal gain of anyone individual, but it's like a people-led movement where I want every people to get engaged and involved into it. So that's me. So those are a couple of things that I have been doing. Other than other things I do quite a bit is like community involvement and community events and trying to help and support wherever I could contribute my best. That's where I am. So I do like humans and I do like to get in touch with every single human that I can make a little difference and contribute. So that's me. Originally, I'm coming back to that. Originally, I come from India, Mumbai, which is now Mumbai, but it used to be Bombay before. And I've got 2 kids, and they all are in their teens. So I understand the world that we are living in and how difficult it is for the teens at the moment. And we are the ones who have to sow the seeds for this generation and the coming generations. So that's me, a little bit of me.
Oh, it's amazing. Seriously, you're out to impact the world in so many different ways. Not too many people can do that. It takes an extraordinary human being to be able to take on that level of commitment. So I very much appreciate the time you're giving us today to be able to have this amazing conversation about positive thinking and the effects it can have on us.
Absolutely.
You know, it's quite funny that because for everybody else, we only just actually recently met. Well, we didn't even meet. We just got in contact with each other. And it's been kind of like one of those things that nearly very coincidental because I've been doing a lot of reading on, it's called on a book called The Source. It's by Dr. Tara Stewart. I'll show you that one. It's actually about positive thinking and how it actually works and how our brains, the neuroscience behind it. So I've been finding this topic quite interesting. Very glad that I've been able to have this platform to be able to share it. So I know you wanted to start off with this, so I'll let you start.
Yeah, no, it's good to know that you are on the same page. We are on the same page, because at the moment, the most important thing that everybody needs is positivity. And with a positive frame of mind, you can achieve a hell of a lot, which people don't realize how much power positivity has got. Funnily, they start from P. Anyway, the letter P, positive and power. So, but the most importantly is, like, how we say, there is a good old saying which we grew up as a kids and now, and still that prevails, is like, how do you call a half glass water? How do you put it that, whether you put it as a half empty
The half
or
glass of water, is it half full? Is it half empty?
half empty? That's right.
I always say you're missing the point. It's refillable.
No, but that's the idea, is for just to give a perspective and the mindset. Positive is what, according to me, is whether some people say whether it can be mindset, it can be an emotion of a human being, that how can I be positive when I have got so much negative around me, or how can I be so much negative when I've got so much positive, and how can I get attention, this kind of things, where positive or negative attention. So according to me, positivity is a mindset, but not just mindset. It's actually your being, yourself is positivity. Positive starts the day you are born, or already you are in the womb. Like, you're positive that something will come out. You're positive that something good will come out. You're positive there are hopes of all positivity, that you will do these amazing things, that you will conquer the world when you come on the world. So all this starts from that perspective and aspect when you are already inside. So positive is very powerful, and positive has got so many layers, but it's the mindset. How do you embrace positivity? Or do you want to say that, okay, I don't know anything about positive. What I'm doing is, I don't myself know whether it's positive or negative. But when somebody comes and tells you, oh, that was great, then you say, okay, it's great. But whether it is positive or not is a big question for many people. Sometimes little things, simple things, you think it's nothing, but actually it's more positive, because simple things matters. When you have a family, starting from family, when you are in a family, when you are in with friends or colleagues or anyone, it's people relate to each other and they talk to each other. They want to be with you because you are positive, because you are encouraging them, because you are empowering them. And so that's one of the key element of positivity, is how do you empower someone? But the first and foremost, how do you empower yourself to remain positive, to remain calm, and to think, not get disturbed by other people's views or opinions or suggestions or elements that come across to you, because you are born to face all that every single moment of your journey, irrespective whether you like it or you don't like it. That's where your test comes, how positive you are.
Yes, and it's also very human to actually have those emotions too.
Yeah.
But it does raise a very brilliant question. When you're in those emotions, what is it that you can do to actually choose to look at it as a more positive light?
Yep. Absolutely.
For me personally, when I get really, I call it triggered. When I get really triggered by life, I get excited.
Right.
Only because I can see, like, how, you hear those little things where you got the devil on the shoulder and the angel on your shoulder. Yeah. I have that experience where I can be a complete asshole coming over, talking in my ear, and I get excited because it then becomes a challenge for me. It becomes a challenge to be able to quieten all that down and then go back to who I am, or who I choose to be. Not who I am, who I choose to be. Because who I am is always who I choose to be. And it's gonna be highs and lows. I am not perfect. Some days I'm gonna choose to be a jerk, and I'll be positively happy about it.
Yes. No, I agree with you. I understand what you're trying to come. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where it is, like whether you appreciate yourself or whether you acknowledge yourself. And that's it starts from where. That's exactly where it starts from. Are you acknowledging that your mindset is your mindset? Acknowledgement is that. Um, Whether you are appreciating yourself, whether you are having an acknowledgement of yourself that you are positive or not. So it's all about the mindset and the emotions that are going through in one person's mind. And
Mm.
so positive is nothing but, as you rightly said, that positive is nothing that you have something, someone is talking to you over the shoulders and you think it's yourself you are talking to. But then
It's so not. In fact, actually, I got really distinct with that, like the voices in your head. So many
Yeah.
people collapse and thinking that's who they are, like
Mm.
who they really are. And so I do this little trick, like to really help me distinguish them. I gave them
Mm.
names. A friend
Mm.
told me, like, they were reading a bedtime book to their children, actually,
Yeah.
and they had a conversation about it, and they named them. So I thought that's excellent. So I gave mine two names, like, so I called the bad one Jacinta and the good one Lily. And so now I just like actually giving them distinct names away from myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like they become now two very different people inside my head, but they're not me, which is more to the point. It's able to make you really see it's not who I am. It's just like two advisors in your head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I understand totally. Yeah. So, what, according to, see, positivity is quite a very simple thing for me, and it's not a big deal or big thing, but it's definitely empowers not just you, but all around you and all surrounding you. It just empowers automatically, unconsciously, if you do things positively, if you don't get disturbed, because there are these, as we always say, there's always ifs and buts, there is always do's and don'ts, but there is always positives and negatives. But without negatives you won't know what is positives. And that's the first and foremost lesson. That's what people say, that when kids are born, or when a child is born, the first thing he learns is saying no. And no means negative, but no
Yes.
is equally powerful as positive, because then you are empowering yourself with saying that word positively. If it is no, it's no. But that's the positivity of it. But people think no is negative, but it's not. It gives you the power to say yes, according to me, and what my beliefs so far has been. So yeah, so positive, for many people is different, and they say, okay, they think that whatever somebody is doing, even if it's wrong, even if it's harming, hurting others, still they think it's good for them because it's working for them, so it's positive for them. But really, is it or not? It's up to individuals' mindset and soul that they are experiencing. But they do experience that, and they do realize it, whether it was appropriate or not appropriate at certain stages of their journey. Definitely. So positive is very simple thing. Just do be positive with everything that you do, and don't think this is the be all and end all and end of the world. Whenever we try to do things, we aim at a certain expectations that if I don't get to do this, then I don't want to do it because I'm too scared or too fear to do it. And it means it shows that you are not positive about anything. It shows that you don't want to do things because you are not positive about it, and because you are thinking too much negative about it.
It also has a payoff too. It stops it. The payoff would be it stops you from actually having to take responsibility for yourself and responsibility for the things you actually want too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so this is where I feel that positivity is a very important in this current situation of what we are living. Um, Everybody has got uncertainty. Everybody has got negativity feeling, and this is where something that is not good ideal situation for many people.
Mm.
However, this is where you need the most positive mindset. This is where you need the most and resilience of everything and anything that you are doing, even though you are doing it little things that you may think, but still it's important. And you have to be positive. Otherwise, you won't move. You will just stuck there.
Yeah.
So if you're stuck there, then you can't do much, and then you have to rewind the clock back.
Also, going on with the positive and everything, it's what you focus on, you will get. So if you're sitting there focusing on negativity or all the things that could go wrong, guarantee you they will. But if you sit there and focus on everything that is going right, even if it's a little thing like I woke up this morning,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, even the very little things, no matter what else is happening, it will actually, your life will actually pick up. Now, the reason for this is because we run on a vibration. So Dr. Hara says that we run on a vibration of energy. And when we concentrate on something, we're putting a spark of energy is released from us. I haven't finished reading the whole book yet, so I can't really tell you how it ends.
Okay.
But basically, in a nutshell, what we think, we actually release in a matter of energy out into in our everyday movements and whatnot. And for an example, a really good one, 2020. How many people have you heard say that it is the worst year and that nothing has gone right and that the whole rest of the year is not going to go right? Now, we haven't got one or two people saying this. We've got nearly a whole world and with a whole heap of evidence, and it just keeps on getting worse and worse and worse. Now, I'm like, yep, I've actually myself had a great year. It hasn't, not even the coronavirus has affected me much.
Well, yeah. See, this is where I like people who are quite positive in this current situation or any situation, really speaking, because situations come and go. They are all temporary. And no matter how much big it is, whether it's a nature created, whether it's man created, whether it is human created, people say all sorts of things. And yes, there are truths in that and there are non-truths in that. But people do keep explaining and justifying themselves rather than actually ignoring all of this and do what your purpose is and do what you feel right is. If everybody individual concentrates on their own, the world will be absolutely amazing, in my way. Because as a humans and being very spiritually self-realized person, that I feel every person is spiritual, every person is creative, but they are not self-realized because they are too much followers. They become too much bogged down and like undermine their own skills, undermine their own abilities. And they feel that I have to do only what others are doing and only I can do what others are doing, and forgetting everything about themselves, everything about who they are, what they want to do in life, nothing of that sort. So that's where the whole world at the moment is in a chaos or a complicated situation where 50% people or 60% people are really just trying to follow others and not do what they are supposed to do. And this is where the whole problem has started, because few people, they know that there are good followers. Few people, they know that, okay, we can change these people into our own mindset. And so they can play with people's minds. And this is very sad for a humanity, for a human capability and humans' power that they have got. Every human has got a power, equal power, but they are not exercising it. They are just giving it up and depending on others and forgetting their own power.
That I couldn't agree more. I'd like to add too, one of the best ways, because I can't, like, for example, I can't actually make you do anything. Only you can, because you're the only person in control of your own brain.
Absolutely.
And you can, like, I can suggest things or whatnot. Or, like, okay, let's say I can try and manipulate situations to try and get you to do something that I want. But in the end of the day, It's only you who can actually choose what to do with your life.
Yeah.
However, but where the real power is for me not trying to change you at all or trying to get you to do anything that I want, but for me to try and say, well, the only person that has power in the situation is me. So if I've got something that I'm unhappy with, the only person who can ultimately change that is me.
Correct.
So
100%.
if you actually start looking internally rather externally, there opens up a world of power that you would be surprised that you could do.
Absolutely, 100% I agree on that. And this one of the things, like, people say during this time, like, because of the virus, people are dying. Because of the virus, people are stressed, depressed, or uncertain, more fear, all of that. But as to the coming back to that, rightly said what you said, rather than looking it inside, they're looking it outside. So if they start looking inside of their own, all these things did exist even before the virus, because when you have that negativity thoughts in your mind, you are already killing yourself with depression, you're already killing with yourself with stress, you're already harming you physically, you're already harming mentally. Okay, you don't need virus for that. You just, you are, because you are too much bogged down with other person's success or other person's achievements or other person's belongings and material things that you are focused on, that you just needs, your wants, your desires, your greed has created so much complications in your own mind, that you're not looking at yourself within yourself. But do you really need this? Do you really want this? Do you really gonna carry this with you for long? How long? So all of these are very important questions that people need to ask themselves, not to others. Others can offer a lot of things, but is it really good for you? Is it really what you are looking for? And is it really going to make your soul peaceful? That's where the whole challenge is for many people, because they have been designed, they have been asked to do in a certain way, and they think this is the only way and this is the only end way. That's it. But now many people, I think, from my point of view perspective, and my colleagues, few of my colleagues really have understood, like, this is not what I wanted. This is not I really aimed for in my life. And so they have started changing their own behavior and lifestyle, which is good to see that they are understanding themselves more, and they are trying to talk to themselves more, which is good, which is great. And that's what the humans are supposed to be, really speaking. They are here only to explore. They are here only to, make it more and more exploring for themselves and uncovering more and more of themselves, because they haven't uncovered themselves. So yeah, so I feel that positive thinking is very, very important in today's world, in every time and any time, because even at the fag end of your journey or whatever, wherever you go, if you don't have a positivity approach or a mindset or attitude, you are not going to move forward, but you're going to be stuck, or you're going to go backwards. And when you go backwards, you are stuck again. So you don't want to be stuck in the backward or in the future. You want to be moving all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so moving would be the positive really makes a person or human move further and explore further, which is what is the important aspect of a human. So I feel that, whether it is your immune system as a health, whether it is your mental mindset, whether it's your physical, people try and do a lot of things like, okay, I want to exercise so I can get better. I want to do meditation or yoga so I can have a peace of mind. All of that things for physical sanctity and physical well-being, they do. And then for mental, they also do lots of things that they like to do, whether they do, some people like to do charities, some people like to do things so that mentally they are all well equipped and well-being in that. But also at the same time, that positivity gives them a good immune system, where they can see that, they are helping their body by being positive. If you are negative, you are not helping your physical body or your mind. That's my take on
I
it.
totally agree with that.
Mm.
Gonna just read out some of the comments now, because hello everyone who's watching. Reese has wrote, positive is great and negative ain't great. Yes, be positive always. And he also wrote, myself, the COVID-19 hasn't affected myself too. I've been so busy at work and I've been told to take holidays, a month off in 2 weeks if approved, if approval is granted. Superpowers is interesting. I've had ADD in the past. I thought it was a disability. It is actually a great traits. And I mean, I have multiple traits and positive is a must. I love that.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
I absolutely love that, Reese.
Positive definitely is a must. Positive is the most important aspect of our journeys. And if you really look at it, why we are not positive, according to me, is one, we don't have a proper information, or we don't try to seek proper information. Second thing is we are not well informed or well aware. And even if when you are not aware, then you are also into that situation where you don't know what you are doing is right, wrong, or whether that's the way, or that's the best way, or that's the correct way. You don't know. So you're confused in that non-awareness. And because that's what my three principles, if I put it in simple words, my three principles of my news channel was based on three principles: information, awareness, and internal, external support. Now, if you try to deep dive into all these three aspects, whether you're home, whether you want to clean simple your house or sprinkling your house or even toilets or bathrooms and everything, these three are important: information, awareness, and support, internal, external support. So if you don't have these three things, really speaking, you cannot be positive, according to me. Because if you don't have proper information, how are you going to be positive about what you want to do, or what you are thinking about it to do? Same thing, awareness. If you don't have the awareness of that information, and if you don't have internal, external support to achieve this, then also you are into a situation where you will be having some sorts of negativity and negative thoughts, and you will change your direction from positive to negative. It's easy to change from positive to negative, but it's hard from negative to positive, as I always say.
But have you ever noticed, like, so with the news and everything else like that, most of it is shown in a way that is negative.
Absolutely.
And makes you wonder, like, I'm not saying positive doesn't sell, but what I'm saying is positive doesn't sell as well as negativity. Why do you think the negativity is so attractive to us as human beings?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. One of the things is like the whole news channel or the whole news information, or even in your family, when you have things like things can turn into conflict, words can turn into conflict, sentences can turn into debate, or we have got words and sentences can turn into gossips.
Yeah.
If you look at these three elements, debates, conflicts, and gossips, the news is all based on these three principles. Because people like to hear what is good for them, not what is the reality, not what is the truth.
Whatever validates what they're thinking and feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes total sense too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so human to want to be validated. Like, even I want to be validated. I don't need it, but I want it.
Yeah, exactly. And nothing harm in it, nothing wrong in it. But when it comes to public, when it comes to the whole wider well-being of the whole humanity, when it comes to the well-being of the nation, when it comes to well-being of not just individual and parties and political parties or individual groups or individual people, no, when it comes to and when it affects the whole spectrum of the humanity and the nation, then you got to have face the reality. You cannot hide. So like today, if you look at COVID-19, I'm not saying that how it came and where it came. Forget about where it came, how it come, but people are more putting their energy and resource and everything in trying to find out how did it occur, where did it come from, who I can blame, where I can do
Mm.
those kind of things.
Oh yeah, blame is such a big deal. It doesn't solve the problem at all, but hey, we'll have somebody to blame.
Yeah, so that's a negativity aspect, right? Blaming is a
Mm.
negativity aspect, but blaming also can be blessing in disguise for many people. So they are just playing up with that. But according to me, what the debates should be, or the discussion should be, or the healthy debates, as I call it, healthy debates, where there is no conflict, there is no gossip, and there is no like debates of negativity, but debates of positivity.
I often wonder how COVID-19 would have looked if we focused more on how many people recovered opposed to how
Exactly. There
many
you
people
go. You
died.
got the answer. Yes, I love it. That's what
Like,
I
if
was
you have a look
telling.
at how many people recovered in a
Yeah,
daily basis, it's
yeah.
huge opposed to the one person that died
Give
that
me the
day.
story. Give me a story that even simple things of positivity gesture a person does to another person and survives and makes saves him from the
Mm,
COVID-19 situation. I
yep,
would like to have those stories more.
same.
I don't want to have those stories where they are only showing, or this many dates I'm counting. This country is having this problem, that country is having that problem. Yes, every country is dependent on their own structure, on their own infrastructure, and on their own environmental structure as well. But that's not to say that you can't do good things. That's not to say that you cannot change. That's not to say that you will never be able to do that and unless you adopt a certain method. No, it not. Humans are humans. They are the most powerful people on this planet who can explore and keep exploring and actually come up with solutions that is good for them, good for their nation, good for their country, and nothing wrong in it. You don't have to adopt just because somebody works somewhere or something works in some country doesn't mean it will work with you. But you can always be positive and make things happen rather than,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I feel that, yeah, the news channel, the world news, the whole media was supposed was if you'll go back to the history, what is media? It's nothing. Giving the right information which is expected out of media, giving the right awareness which is expected out of the media, however, and also giving the support to the government, to the people through that channel, and make them aware that look, there is a support there, don't worry. That's what
Mm.
that is was based on, that it was built up media, according to my beliefs in the good old days. That's what we used to look up at media. Oh, I should, if I can't hear from my neighbor, or if I can't hear from the next door and next town, I will go to media and I'll come to know about little things about that. It doesn't mean they
Yeah.
are right or wrong. At least I will get an information, right? But today, on purpose, information is given. On purpose, a creation of news has been created. News should not be created. News is already there. It's a reality that you're showing.
Even news itself. So
Mm.
when they created news, they actually like news itself is north, east, west, south.
Yeah,
And all it was actually designed to do is just share information
correct.
quicker, just to get it to the north, east, west, and south
Yeah.
of that
Mm.
country. And
Mm.
that's how it actually even started. And
Correct.
but then we got tired of hearing of
Mm.
this little thing. So then they felt like there was a pressure to keep everyone entertained.
Yeah.
when all it was actually supposed to actually do is just give us
Well,
important information when we needed it.
yeah, yeah. It comes back to that same concept of like what I said before is like in family also we would like to have those kind of statements and words that you like most. And when
Oh,
you want that most, what happened in the outside public, the group of people came together and said, look, I like this. Our group should have this. Why don't we ask the media to give us this news? Why don't we create news on based on this that I like? And all of a sudden, certain groups started creating groups, news, and certain groups started liking certain news. And so we are brainwashed with that news all the time, every time. So even though whether you like it or you don't like it,
mm.
you
But
are
it's not
listening to it.
just the news. Like you
No.
have a look at any TV show, it is packed full of drama and
Oh,
negativity and
yeah.
then having to rise up out of it. Like our brains are washed from birth with watching anything. Like even Disney.
Yeah, yeah, I understand totally. Yes, I agree with you 100%, Nikita. That's the world we are living in. Yeah, that's the world definitely we are living in. But I tell you, the most important thing is for me and for everyone should be, and I'm not here anyone to say that, oh, you do this or you do that. It's not about that. It's about how you uncover yourself first so that you understand what you want to do. But the reality is, if we don't think now the way the world is going and the world we are living in, everybody, people come in and people go in. It's the it's the policies, it's the process, it's the mindset that has been set up for the future generations is more important. Do we want them to live in an environment which is toxic, or do you want to leave them? See, nature, like people talk about nature and they want to change environmental. There are a lot of environmental laws and issues that are coming along now, and people are realizing that now. But what about the environment and of the society that
Mm.
we are living in? Has anybody tried to change that as a positive matter of fact?
I think there are people out there that's trying to do that. That's why you've
Yes,
got
but
so many self-aware like
hmm,
programs these days and
hmm,
so many coaches and like I've been in self-development for years now, I can't remember,
hmm,
but
yeah,
and all that, like, so there are people, and now more than ever it's actually starting to catch on
more.
more, I've noticed.
And that's what we want. We want more advocating those kind of societies to be more promoted, to be more branded as positive, rather than living in that old, same old negative branding that we were asked to do, you know? So I grew up also in that environment situation where I have seen both sides. What is good, what is bad may not be good for you, may be bad for you, but somebody else may be good for them and good bad for them. But overall, it's affecting the whole society and the nation.
If there's
That's what.
one thing that has been really positive that's come out of COVID-19 is a lot of people are actually starting to see for the first time
Yeah.
what's happening, and not just what's happening and being a complaint about it, but what's happening and what they can do
Correct.
because they've got time.
Yeah. What are the positives that they have noticed is very important, like positive outcomes, during such time, during these challenging times. You need that kind of information. We need that kind of news, that in spite of all of this, there are many people who are so positive and living positive and facing these challenges and still overcoming with positive outcomes. And we need to tell more of those. We need to show more of those positive outcomes rather than dwelling on the negativity. I don't like
Wonder
to.
if we can set a challenge, like a 10-day challenge of positive things. Name a positive thing that you saw today or
Yeah,
something like that. I'm sure we could. Everyone does them.
we could. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe we should start our own
Well, I would love
challenge.
to that. This is where I started just a couple of weeks ago wanting to have like a positive feedback from people. What's the positive one thing that you like or that you has impacted on you? which is good to see. And what is one more positive that you would like to see? So people start only talk about positivity rather than negativity. We don't want to know how you faced it, what you faced it. You have challenges. Little challenges are also challenges. Small, big doesn't matter. Challenges are challenges, and you overcome that, and you make something out of it positively.
Well,
That's
I had a
important.
very positive breakthrough today.
What is that? Tell me.
I am so I did a lot of work ages ago, and I thought, well, I came to awareness that I only ever dated people that were unavailable.
Mm-hmm.
And that did actually open me up a lot to realize that that was a pattern that I was doing. But today
Mm-hmm.
I went even deeper, and I had the transformation that realized that it wasn't so much that they were unavailable, but how much I have been
Oh, you are
unavailable
available.
in
Yeah.
all of it. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah. Yeah.
awesome. I can be available. But, like it's funny though, because where I came from, it was pretty much what I was putting on them. If I reversed
Mm-hmm.
it and put it on me, what would that say? And then it literally came back saying I was unavailable. So then I went back and I had a look, and I'm like, you know what? I was unavailable. That's why it really didn't work. None of them worked. Whoops, my bad. But that was
Yeah.
positive because I wasn't looking at it as like, oh no. I was actually really relieved. I was very positive about, like, it's such a positive breakthrough for me. I'm like, yay, next person won't have to go through that.
That's fantastic. Yeah. But so let's go back to and see what do you think was your positive mode when the first time the COVID hit everyone in your place where you are,
Yeah.
and what was the challenge that you thought at the very first instantly that is this going to be a scary one, fear one, or but did you also have a fear, or did you think, okay, it's another one, it will go away, or what was your
Ironically enough,
reaction?
so at the start of the year, when Australia was burning, like in the
Yeah, that's
January
right.
start,
Yeah.
there was this one little
Mhm.
meme that was getting around, and it came up, and it's like it'd gone through every 100 years, and it started like 1720. There was some sort of plague.
Yeah, yeah.
1829. I don't know. Did you see that one too? And there's
I
2020
saw that.
question
Yeah.
mark. And I'm
Yes,
like,
yes.
so when COVID finally hit, the only thought I had at that point was, well, now I know what the plague is. And I'm like, it's amazing what people put out actually can come to you. But no, at first I think I was more just a little bit curious how, like, it was all going to play out, whether with work, what was going to happen. I was a bit unsure about all that. But at the
Hmm.
same time, if work was going to close down, woohoo, I got 2 weeks off, but I didn't get that because my work did not close down.
Yeah.
um, so I actually kind of felt ripped. Nah, but I was actually very blessed because I got to work, and this is why it really didn't
Mm.
impact me at all, because I was still studying, I was still working, and I was still, doing what I'd normally do.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
the only thing it impacted me was I now couldn't go down past New South Wales,
Okay. Yeah.
because once the borders closed, and then
Hmm.
later on, because all the travel bans, I actually didn't get to go back overseas this year like I'd planned to.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
instead, what I did is I just video chatted with my friends for a while until I got my fix, and then yeah. But it's actually it's opening up so many more new opportunities for me, as in,
Mm.
I've got so much more time. Like, now I'm not going overseas right now because of whole COVID, so I've got this, like, extended amount of time of things that I can fill with now. And
Sure.
so I'm starting courses, I'm leading courses, and all sorts of different things now. So in an actual fact, COVID has actually been amazing for me.
No, but that's
So,
a good positive approach that you did it. I would feel that 90% people were thinking that I can't do anything anymore because of I'm stuck. And I don't, and they were like point blank, like blind,
mm,
completely thinking that I can't do anymore. My skills are no more required. I'm bad, and I don't know what I will do. All those kind of things. Where some of the people who were involved, and particularly tourism industry is very hit affected here and everywhere. But
dating was a bit more of a challenge. Dating was a bit more challenging. You either risk it and have them meet you at your house, which is always very risky.
Exactly.
Or you just don't do it.
Or you just don't do it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That would have been a big challenge. But for you, like thinking in that positive frame mind and thinking, okay, I can do this or I can do that, or I'm not just do the thinking, but you have actually gone ahead and implemented things during such times when people think that the world is shut down. People think that I can't do anymore. Even though they are in their own space, they think they can't do anything because the world around them is also standstill. But you probably went ahead and said that, no, I'm going to do this, whether not realizing the expectations. And 99%, as I said, like people do things because others are doing, do things because there is an expectation. But when you do without expectations, when you do without dependency, that's where you are really positive. That's where the key of positiveness comes along, I feel, which you showed that quite prominently, obviously, in that section.
For me, back to what you're saying about the world shutting down, I don't think the world could ever shut down. As long as the people are still waking up and are alive, it's not.
Well, there was a World 2012. Remember that movie, which was saying that the world is going to end.
Yes, Armageddon.
Armageddon. Yeah.
I remind you, if there ever was a year that aliens would come to this planet, I am betting it's this year, because the amount of people that have thrown in memes about aliens coming to this year, if there were, like, with so much energy going out there for that, if there was ever a year that would happen, I'm betting on this one. Just like because of the amount of people thinking that it would happen.
Yeah, just like when the 2000 year started, millennium, they started, okay, Y2K was the big problem. IT is going to go, and this and that, all sorts of things were happening around in 2000 when the year started.
Yeah, I remember that. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
It was like a huge letdown. I was only a kid, but I was expecting more than that. Oh no, what did happen is my sister got really drunk and ended up vomiting. That was about it for 2000 as it hit 2000.
Yeah. So what was it like for you in that frame of mind, being so positive? Because one, the virus, it was deteriorating the health, but if you were not positive, or if you were not doing things, or even exercising, set little things, even if you're not moving yourself from anywhere, health-wise, mental-wise, you will be affected.
Oh yeah, if I spent too much time in my head,
correct,
I would be completely not positive. If I had to sit there and listen to my voices go on nonstop, but you see, that's a choice. You don't have to sit there and listen to yourself, even if you're not allowed to leave your apartment. You don't have to sit there and not listen to yourself. If your apartment has a book, great, read, take yourself out of your head. Music, and be creative like you would have been as a child. I never lost that creativity. That's why children are never bored. Or
exactly.
They go.
Yep, they just
it's only when they're quiet that you worry.
Yeah, it was really, I think that, so, but for you, what I can see that you have done things positively, you have accepted positively, irrespective whether whatever situation you were in, and whether compared to others, you may be better off or not better off. It's not about whether your situation is better, whether your mind frame is better, whether your mindset is better is important to create that situation of comfort, or to create that situation of, well-being. Otherwise, you are, no matter whether you have got everything, and if your mindset is not right, you are going to suffer with health issues.
Yeah, totally. So, you can be your own warden and make your life a living hell just by thinking it is, or you can be your own saving angel and just make your life as heavenly as possible by just focusing on what is. It doesn't, either way, it's going to happen. Just it's your choice which way you want to go with it.
Which way you want to go with
And
it. Yeah, I agree.
it doesn't mean I do not have times where I'm not so positive.
Yeah.
I do have those times, and I do embrace them, and I do go through the very human emotions of being upset, being angry, being heartbroken even. I do have all of those. It's just the majority of my life is focused elsewhere, is focused on, positive things and what's working and what I can get up to next. My brain runs a million miles an hour. So, it's just what direction. And it's completely normal to have those emotions. So I'm not invalidating anybody who is stuck in that situation.
No.
Because I get it. I've been there. I don't live there, but I've been there. I think that's where I'm more fortunate, because I say I'm fortunate.
But what will be your surroundings in terms of positivity? Like, what would you gather people around you, or gather the surroundings or the environment that you create for yourself to become
That
positive?
Does play a huge part. I am surrounded by some of the most powerful women, people, even men.
Yeah.
I know. And we don't tear each other down. Doesn't mean we don't get on each other's nerves.
Yeah.
My friends will tell you gladly, sometimes I get on theirs.
That's good. Good
But,
to know.
we support each other. We love each other.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And, and anything that doesn't fit into that or doesn't support and nurture me and isn't loyal to that. And I mean, as in, people make mistakes. Lord knows I've made many mistakes, but my friends don't give up on me because of that. Yeah. And they don't hold that mistake against me for the rest of my life. So they're not mostly looking for the negative in me. They're only searching for the positive. If you don't fit into that for me, then that's cool. No judgment. It's just, you won't be at my table because I love me too much to be able to be dragged into a table full of negativity.
Yeah. I guess from my perspective, when you said that you're people who are positive, people who wants to forget the negativity and still doing the positive, they got to be in that frame of mind where in spirituality we say that, okay, these guys or these people are really over and above the journey of a human or the purpose of their journey. They know what exactly it is. They are not stuck to or hang on to one thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
definitely got my closest friends are all on the same transformational journey
that's
as myself. Or they're always about others, not themselves. Is probably the best way to look at that. And I love them for that, and they love me because I'm the same for that too.
Yeah. So it's I say in simple words, it's like this, I don't exist if you don't exist, and I only exist because you exist, and this applies to everyone.
You are me, I am you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Couldn't agree better.
This is 100% that I have realized a number of years ago, and I thought that, and it could be sometimes challenging for many people to understand, or challenging for many people to really get through that. What does that mean, or what is the deeper meaning of it? But when you look at in a very calmly and coolly, that makes huge sense that you are not here only to be like a tree who gives beautiful fruits or who gives beautiful leaves and everything. You're not just standing there. You are actually here to make yourself flourish and flourish others as well. And that's where the most important part is.
Well, here's the one thing that I know 100% for sure. I'm alive right now, and I will die in this lifetime.
In this lifetime. You know what I say?
I know what that gives me. Now, there are many different beliefs. Some people believe once you're dead, you're dead. Other people believe, you go back to the universe. Other people believe you go to heaven, hell. That's all fine.
Yeah,
that's all fine. But here's the thing. You are here now.
Now, correct.
And while I am here now, I've got a say in what I can do right now.
Mm.
and how I want to live my life right now,
Yep.
which is great because I don't have to wait for tomorrow. I can do it today. Like I can do
Yeah,
it now.
correct.
Tomorrow never really comes. It's always
No.
just out of reach. Yesterday's already gone. It's
Yeah.
already left its mark. But there is now. We have now. So how do you want to live your life now is what I'm asking everyone.
So, oh my God, I love you, Nikita. You know what I say to everyone? This is your leftover moment. Think about it and
Yes.
enjoy this moment and do things that will make you feel proud yourself. These are your leftover moments. I always call everyone.
I love that. Leftover moments. It's just so beautiful.
That's why I resonated with you quickly when you said, "Oh, this is I am in now. Now I am here now, and I want to do now." Yeah. Um, so it's really interesting. What you said is absolutely, I love it. Because that's what we want people to be surrounded by, who are on the same pathway, who wants to make, because you cannot take with you anything.
No.
And you cannot, you have been accumulating all your life since your birth, your body, by growing yourself. You have accumulated.
And even that's not guaranteed to go with
And
you
that
when you
even
die.
that's not, yeah, exactly. Love it.
In fact, your ashes are probably mostly wood from the coffin. So
I think
nothing's
we should,
guaranteed except for death and taxes.
you know, we are talking a lot of things that actually is the reality of today and yesterday and tomorrow. This is the reality, what we are talking. And people try to not live in reality. People want to live in imagination, illusions, dreams.
I actually don't think there's anything wrong with living in
No,
imagination.
it's not
It's
wrong.
like
But they don't
very
want to
creative.
accept. Yeah, but they don't want to accept the reality. So when you, like, I know for the fact, like, you know, when you lose your near and dear ones for any reason or whatsoever,
Yeah.
they're gone.
Yeah.
So you can't live with that grief and green and seriousness that, okay, what will I do now? That person is gone. You know, it's not. Actually, think about those people who are left. Think about them and try to live your life that way. One thing that has
It took
gone
me a
is
long
gone.
time to get past that. I lost someone
Yeah.
very near and dear to me, and it took
Mm.
me years to come
Yeah.
back. But what I realized is I was actually holding on to the pain, thinking that was the only thing of him that was left. Is that feeling that's like that
feeling.
last mark that he's left. So I was holding on to it so tight just because I was so scared if I let it go, then there'll be nothing of him anymore.
Yeah.
And what I found is when I did let go, what came back was all the happy and the fun. And yes, I love and miss him, and I will always love and miss him. But he's still with me, and it took me a long time to get that.
Yeah, see, that's very important for, and it's good to have that pain, because as I said, like, negativity is equally important, but then what is important is more positivity, because there are so many people out there and which are waiting for you to actually bring some difference in their journey, in your journey, that you could make a difference. You're not here just to kill the time. See, air is moving. You can't see the air, but it's moving all the time, and it's giving different feelings all the time for everyone. And that feeling is more important in everyone's journey, and not just moving, you know. So you got to make a difference with that feeling. So I feel that that's very powerful in terms of what you said. But also I feel that, yeah, when you let go things and when you forgive things and when you keep letting go, because you're not going to take with you, but you want to take with you all the positives. You want to take with you all the good things that you have done, and which people don't like to talk, but we would like to open up that now. I want to open up that conversation now, then tomorrow. I want to open it now and let them feel that, look, talk about the good things, talk about the things that are positive, talk about the things that you have contributed to someone's life, to someone's journey, to yourself. Talk about it. Let everyone resonate with it. Let everyone think it is achievable. Let everyone think it is important to know all these things and not just the negative things, you know?
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Sadly, we're surprisingly, not even sadly, we've actually done our whole hour now.
Isn't it amazing?
It
And
is.
we can still go for hours, but yeah, I know.
Yeah, we
So
can. The platform might not let me, might cut me off, but
no, it's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Nikita, for
thank
this.
you for joining me. It was absolutely a pleasure and honor.
We
Thank
should
you.
probably do this quite often more, and we
Yeah.
can do more of these things, which we can make some sort of difference and resonate with others.
Maybe we can do one once a week or something like that, but
Yeah.
make it shorter if we're going to do it
Yeah.
more often. Yeah.
We can do
Okay.
more shorter. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sounds good to me. Okay.
I think we can also do one more is shorter one is a spiritual reality or a spiritual retreat where
Oh,
we would like to
yes.
give the insights of the
Yes.
spirituality, because you and I feel that
Oh, yes.
felt after
Let's
talking
do
to
it.
you. Let's do it.
Let's do it. That could be our next one.
Okay, spirituality.
What about
retreat.
same time but Thursday?
Yeah, no issues.
Okay, there you go. Everyone will be here same time but on Thursday.
Yes, excellent. We'll
Talking about
talk about
spirituality.
spirituality and give them more insights about oneself.
Yes, I love it.
How we uncover and recover from ourselves rather than others. We need to recover
Perfect.
from ourselves. So that's the positive note I would say. Let's
Yeah.
recover from ourselves so that we can recover others,
Mm-hmm.
because we have the power.
Oh, yes. We have the power.
We have the power, Nikita.
Thank
Thank
and
you
on
so
that
much.
positive note, I'm going to love you and leave you all. And you have a lovely Friday evening. And thank you for joining us.
Look forward to more and more of this. Thank you. Thanks,
Okay.
Nikita.
Thank
It was
you,
a great
Shailesh.
pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Bye for now.
Okay, bye.